Oof, can't see you. Morning everyone. It's heaving. It's dead early. I've been here for well, it's 6:24 and I've been here for nearly an hour. But when I arrived there were people already here because it's so hot. Clearly it's a busy time. So people are watering, which is what I've done already. Oh, just having a coffee. There was something I wanted to do. I basically need to raise money to do up the shed because this isn't a monetised channel. And the budget cooking one, we're saving that to hopefully one day buy a house. The money that I earn from that, which isn't massive, you know. I might do a vlog on that, you know, how much I earn from YouTube, blah, blah, because, you know, it's interesting. And I've watched vlogs like that. But I wanted to draw a picture of the allotment and then sell the prints via my Etsy shop. So I'm going to do that now. I'm actually going to start the drawing now because the sunshine is beautiful. I might use a bit of artistic license in that I will paint the shed the colour that you've all chosen. More on that later. And also perhaps not so much grass, but essentially it will be as the allotment as you know it. But you can watch me draw it. So yeah, let's get started. It's a lovely morning. I've already seen Mr. Robin. I think I must be hot and bothered. I must look it worse. It's unbelievably warm right now. But everything's had a good water. But it's so, by the time, well, it's just so stuffy all day. I mean, you all know that if you're in the UK right now, depending on where you're living, admittedly, but where I am, it's boiling. And we were meant to have a thunderstorm yesterday, but it didn't happen. It just bypassed us. We've got a spot of bit of trickles of it, but nothing serious, nothing more, no downpour, which I was a bit disappointed about because it's like, yay, a day off watering. Okay, so I've got my watercolour paper here, and I'm going to bend you slightly so you can actually see the paper. I've just got to check if you can see that. That shadow is the climber where the tomatoes and the runner beans are. We'll just ignore that. But the shed will be in the background. Oh no, you're joking. Oh God. Oh, it's a good job I got this pencil. That actually ran out, I can't believe it. And this is blunt as anything. Oh no, it's not going well. I'm just going to roughly draw stuff in. So this cucumber frame, which is a bit nearer. I think there's bug central because I'm really hot. In fact, that's a little bit more of an angle. So I'm drawing the arch. So I'll use a bit of artistic license, and that a lot of it will have grown a bit more, you know, how I'd like it to be, or hope it to be. So the cucumber, for instance, I'm going to do it a little bit further up the trellis. And of course we've got lettuce underneath, haven't we? And the climbers here. In fact, I need to put that trellis. The flowering climbers. And what's in the background there? There's a little someone's, what do you call it? Oh, compost. Not mine, but, and there's that beautiful flowering tree with white flowers. I will take a photo because I need to kind of do the colours and stuff when I paint it when I get home, and I'll obviously at the end of this vlog hopefully I'll have a finished. That shed, that interesting rusty looking shed's in the background as well. And he's got some beautiful pink flowers going on behind it. And then more trees in the distance. So going along here. So I've got my climbers actually. It'd be nice to put them in. So I'm just going to draw my climber in. A honeysuckle. Feeders. So I've got the climbing frame, which has, well, artistic license, because there's currently nothing on it at the moment. I wanted sweet peas, but they're really struggling to germinate. And what's going on? And my courgettes, they're struggling to germinate as well. I had success with other. Yeah, I don't know what it is. There's a rhubarb patch in the background. My rhubarb, in fact there's gooseberries going on in the background, so I'll try and fit them in. And then that common barberry, which is kind of more like a tree, which I'll have to use a bit of artistic license. I can just see it. Luckily, oh, this is actually, I've just created the bed for this. This is the French climbing beans, so I'm drawing them in as if they're growing. Because I've got them in a basket and I've laid down the cardboard, so this will actually be a bed. And I'm going to put that plastic mesh stuff that I've put here along it as well. That's to be done today. Oh yeah, everybody, your name suggestions. I will go into this in a bit more detail, but it's just so busy. But your your what do you call it? YouTube suggestions were really great. I'm kind of leaning towards a shed. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. Plot 25+1. I really like that because I kind of got keen on plot 25, and it's quite nice to just keep it. I'm just going to try and draw what's in the background. Lots of people's sticks and a really huge tree. Oh, there's a robin watching me draw. So this will be available in the Etsy shop, and it will be a print of this. I mean, you'll see it finished, hopefully by the end of this vlog, if all goes well. Yeah. And if you buy it, you'll be all proceeds will help go towards renovating the shed. Because materials cost a flipping fortune. I've been looking. Yeah, I mean, I was in Homebase yesterday, and they've stopped cutting wood for they only do a basic cut so that you can get it in your car. They don't cut to size, which is no good to me because I don't have the facilities here to obviously. I'm just going to draw in a path there. Just do some general shrubbery there. And what did I? Oh, I'm going to have tomatoes over here, I think. I'm just going to have them poking the odd tomato so you can see a splash of red. So they're at home at the moment, so I'm going to have two sets of these tomatoes and my tomatoes. So I'm going to have potential tomato heaven. And if I need, preserving them, if I've got a glut, that's touch wood that they grow fine, because you never know. I don't know what the blight situation is on this. Oh, and I've got my clematis here, haven't I? So I've got to grow that, draw that. But it's a fine morning now, I tell you. Absolutely beautiful. Oh yeah, look, I think I did say it, but I will paint this shed in the colour that you've chosen, which was phenomenally D. It was about 18. I think the others, in fact I do have it here, hold on. Oh, where is it? Here you go. So A was 14, that was a close second really. B was 5, C was 8, and D was 18. And then the shed suggested was plot 25 plus 1, plot 25 plus. Lost the plot, I did like that. Shed and buried, that was really good as well. And plot 25, to keep it as plot 25, that is. Yeah, but I think maybe plot 25 plus 1, I think. Thanks to everybody as well. So this is obviously the rough outline. Oh, and I did ask suggestions to help. So someone said, I can't remember who it was, I'm so sorry, that they use silicone. So I'm going to try that. I'm not sure if it would just all fall out, but it's worth a go. Yeah. I've got to plug the holes before I put the, thermal insulation and then line it. Because otherwise when it rains it will just go create an issue. And I did love your idea, Mel, of a solar panel or some such, but I don't know if something like that might get nicked. But I would love that. That would be an amazing idea. Or even EcoFlow, if you're watching, send me one of your, and I'll review it. I mean, obviously I'm too tiny, they're not going to be watching this. But they're great. You charge them at home, and van lifers and all that, they use them. So, I was drawing in the watering can. You've always got to have a watering can on an allotment plot picture. Yeah. I just have to use artistic license with what's grown up this client frame, because there's nothing there at the moment bar the lemon tree, which I will move and pot on when I've got a decent pot. But yeah, artistic license is fine. Oh, we want the cucumbers are here, aren't they? And underneath the rocket. Oh, and we've got the beetroot. And then some wildflowers coming up the vines. And we have a bed here. It's currently well, no, there's garlic there actually. I forgot about that. We're kind of on a path here, so again, it's a bit of artistic license, really. I don't think Mr. Robbins found the mealworm that's here in that little box. I don't know how to let him know it's there. So there's a little, what do you call it, bed here. Oh yeah, the red currant, in fact that would be quite large, wouldn't it? I planted poppies, if you remember. Well, not planted, sowed some seeds, and hopefully they'll grow, but it's just... And some ground cover. Just would be spots of colour. Oh. The path does have a dip there, so I have to... I hope you can see that all right. Is that better? Ooh. Angle it out of the shade. Obviously, yeah, I don't know if you can see that. I hope so. Yeah, so I will take that home and carry on working on it. I've taken a picture for colours and stuff like that, but I am actually quite pleased with that. And I'll sharpen my pencil. Oh, I need another coffee. And then let's see what the time is, and let's see if I can got time to plant these French climbing beans. I need to know, work out how high they grow, but oh, whoopsie, oh dear. I'm going to turn you around so you can have a listen. Oh, I don't know, you can see quite pretty. Can you see much? Yeah. I'm going to have this coffee, then I'm going to do the French climbing beans. See you in a bit. Right, so I'm back home. I'm just continuing here, look, continuing with the plot 25+1 drawing. Yeah, so I'm just going to carry on penciling in things like well, these are the watering cans. So I'm going to start inking it now, just have a close up. Yeah, so let's start. I just use a fine line drawing pen, and I do this before I start painting. Yeah, so I got to the allotment really early this morning. Well, I mean, what time was it? 6 o'clock. But boy, it was almost packed. My immediate neighbour was there, as was a few other people, but a bit further away. Yeah, it just made it slightly difficult. I did, as you've watched, I've got some stuff done, and I'm pleased I planted out the French climbing beans. That's pretty good. So everything's drawn freehand. Cucumber. Slight artistic license, and there's a couple of cucumbers growing on this. Hopefully, well, hanging down, which is what I hope that they will be doing. Yeah, so I'm going to try and get this finished today or tomorrow, so you can see the finished picture, and then prints. So what happens is I do have, there's an art. Well, they've scanned other pieces of artwork that I've had, and they keep the original image, and so they obviously use a really good scanner to scan the image. And then they do the prints for me, and the prints are on watercolour paper, and it will be the same size as the original. And they obviously charge to scan the image, and then they charge to obviously print. But it's once you've got the image scanned, and that's the most expensive bit. It's not too expensive to have the image printed, but that obviously has to be factored into the costs. And hopefully, you like it enough to want to buy it. But if you buy it, then you know that you're helping to support the kind of shed renovations to start with. And if they continue to sell, then they'll help buy stuff like compost, and because that's all quite pricey stuff, and I'm basically don't have the money to buy it. I mean, I'm certainly going to be saving up. So if this doesn't sell, c'est la vie. But hopefully it will help. So I'm just going to start painting now. I've got my watercolour set up, my paintbrush. I like to use a Winsor & Newton Series 7. Yeah, these last for years if you look after them. So I'm just covering it up because I like to test the colour. So I'm just going to get the first layer of colour on the sky. But I do add depth to the colour, so it's not like a one coat, it's always multiple coats.